Kelli Snell, Director of Life Enrichment at John Knox Village. I know this COVID has been terrible for all of us, and we're not getting together and we're not connecting. But we found a way to help you do that, as close as we can anyway. We have what's called Zoom. Many of you are not using Zoom, and we don't know why. So we're going to have some residents today to tell you about their experiences using Zoom and why they like it. Dick, you're involved in a lot of the Zoom programs. What equipment did you need to get involved in Zoom, and what are some of the programs you're on?
Well, I have an Apple computer, and I have an Apple iPhone, and I have an Apple wristwatch, so I'm an Apple person. And John Knox Village is on Microsoft, but even with that difference, it works fine. Now, it's easy because Melissa, who is in Life Enrichment, sends us an address if we have told her that we're interested in Zooming. We click on the address and whoa, all of a sudden we're everywhere. We go to national and state parks because we have a contract with Senior Living Network, and they are able to arrange for us to go different places and to understand what museums are doing, what they look like, and to hear what the curators are telling us. So it's just like we're traveling. And that, of course, is something that we miss.
Awesome. Awesome. You and Carol share a screen when you're on Zoom, correct?
Sometimes, yes.
How
It's
does that
just
work?
easier. Well, it works fine because she knows better than I how to do it. However, I feel very confident that I can do it too.
Awesome. Thank you. Sharon, what do you like about Zoom?
I love Zoom. It's a great opportunity to see people and meet people. I'm only been in John Knox, my apartment, for 16 months, and that includes since the COVID hit, and I've been isolated, so I haven't met very many people, and it's been great to be able to go and meet Dick and Carol and Don and Jennifer and all these different people. And one of the things that we do is we have get acquainted. I never knew these people, so we have get acquainted activities that you lead us through, and it's been fun. So some of the things that you've had us do is two truths and a lie. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
I'm not a very good liar. You guys picked me out right away. And then, just get acquainted activities of talking about your week, what you did, or something unusual that's happened to you in your lifetime, or where you've traveled, or something that stands out that would be good conversation. There's a lot of activities you can do, and Dick brought out one of them, but I'm also in book club, and book club uses Zoom, and it's a great way to meet different people that way as well.
Yeah. Sharon participates in happy hour at 4 o'clock on Thursdays, and she brought us those fun ideas. They've been great, and we've gotten to know each other and laughed a lot. Okay, Ron, we've been doing these since June, and you're just getting on. Why were you hesitant?
Well, I'm fairly new to Zoom, and I used it, I think the first time was this year getting together Father's Day with my family, and we got it set up and everything, and I felt somewhat comfortable with it. And I've seen some of the other things that are on Zoom, and they just haven't caught my interest yet. And I think one of the things that got me started was getting an email from you inviting me to the coffee and the happy hour. And you, all I had to do was just answer your email, and you followed up and gave me the information on how to get on. That was very helpful because I may not have taken the step to go there myself and ask to get on.
You glad you did?
I'm glad, yeah.
Awesome.
It's given me a chance to, it gives me a chance to see a lot of the people I knew that I don't get to see.
Saw that. You had somebody that was in your neighborhood, your backyard, on happy hour last night, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
And it also, lets me meet people that I haven't met before.
Awesome.
So I enjoy it, and I intend to get more involved in it.
Thanks for keeping up with us. I
All right.
appreciate it. Carol, you're on a lot of the Zooms. What are your favorites?
Well, I like the coffee chat and the happy hour. I think those are my favorites.
What do you like about them?
Well, they're fun. We laugh a lot on happy hour, and we share what beverage we might enjoy the most, and talk about that as well as what we've been doing. And meeting new people on that is a great joy. Coffee chat is very enjoyable because you're bringing in staff members who are introducing themselves maybe for the first time, kind of like town hall. And resident council also when staff members, associates have been brought in. And especially for new residents who have just moved in the village since March, Coffee Chat would be a really great place to, and you know, you don't have to talk, you don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but you're certainly welcome and encouraged to contribute. And meeting the staff and associates is really important for all of us.
Jennifer, she did a good segue for you. You are one of our newer residents. What have you found and gotten out of being on Zoom?
Well, I moved here the end of August, and it's actually harder to meet people than I thought it would be. So what Zoom was on Zoom, and then Sharon, who lives in my building, after we saw each other on Zoom, then she called me, and then we become real, friends. And that encouraged me to a couple of other people I saw on Zoom who said some things. I'm like, oh, well, that fits me too. And so I've called them, and to make. It's kind of like asking somebody for a date, but we're old enough to take rejections, but that's worked out well. So it's a way to, if you see somebody on there, then you can, note their name and look them up in the directory and call them.
Awesome. Thank you for participating. Judy, you're actually one that started a group in your neighborhood, the Redbud group. Was it hard for you to get started with a new group?
Well, let me give you a little background. My husband and I moved to John Knox on Redbud almost 3 years ago, and we were told at the time we moved in that the Redbuds meet every Saturday morning at 10 a.m., period. And we thought, well, no, there's no way we would make that commitment for every Saturday. We'll give it a chance and we'll go a couple of times. Fast forward a couple of years, and now it's an event that we wouldn't miss unless there's something essential that we have to do. The Redbuds are very committed to each other. We care about each other's families, the activities in our lives, and I have learned that the Redbuds have been meeting for right at 20 years. That's phenomenal in itself. So I think you can imagine that when COVID hit, most of us on Redbud were devastated. We had to adapt and be a little creative, and we've decided at this point to do a Zoom. And I created a test Zoom meeting one afternoon just to see if we could log on, and particularly to see if I could actually be a host. We currently have 15 units on Redbud with 22 residents. Of those 15 units, 13 have internet connections. And of those 13, 11 have participated in one of our Zoom meetings at some point. So I think we've had really good participation and involvement. On Halloween, my invitation included costumes optional, and we did have 4 of us dressed for Halloween.
Fun.
It's not perfect. Some of us have been frustrated. We've all made mistakes. We've been very forgiving and supportive, and it's something that come this winter on Saturday mornings, I think we'll be glad that we have Zoom meetings to be connected.
Thank you, Judy, for taking the lead on that. That's a great neighborhood you guys have. If any other neighborhood would like to form a group for their neighborhood, a Zoom group, Melissa and I would be glad to help them get started. Just give one of us a call. I have one last question for the group, and anybody who wants to answer is welcome to. So we've got a lot of hesitant people out there. Is there any advice that you want to give anybody who's not using Zoom now and you think they're not benefiting from it? What advice would you give them? Dick?
The biggest problem I have is that the women outnumber the men here at the village, and usually on the Zoom. and I can't get a word in edgewise.
So you're saying you'd like more men to get involved?
I would indeed. We need reinforcements.
Ron came through for you.
Right.
That's funny. Anybody else have any advice for any residents who aren't using Zoom now?
I think a lot of them are just hesitant with their computers.
Right.
They're not really computer savvy, and they're reluctant to try something new. And I think it might be good to have someone that's already involved in Zoom to sit down with them sometime and get them started in it.
Okay.
And maybe a couple of times,
Okay.
help them through it. And then they could probably do it on their own. And if they liked it, fine. If they didn't, they wouldn't have to participate. But I think some of them would need some help and a little boost.
Okay, we'd be glad to do that. Both Melissa and I would be. Any other thoughts? Okay, thank you for all of you who participate in Zoom. We're very appreciative, and we want to help you connect with others, so thank you for participating. If you want to connect with your neighbors and be able to talk to them and see them, call Melissa or I. We'll get you on Zoom. It's not as hard as you think, and it's really very fun.